G'day everybody, where's Wally here? Now you guys know Eddie. Yeah, no, not that Eddie. And not that Eddie. Yes, this Eddie. Now, I normally let Eddie have a free pass. I kind of feel sorry for him. But his last two videos from him really deserve the treatment, if you know what I mean. Firstly, Eddie claims that some flatty sent a tweet to someone from Nikon about a P900 or P1000 flat earth camera of choice and then retweeted the response. Here, let's have a listen to Eddie.
Christopher sent them a tweeter asking them to confirm or not the capacity, the zoom capacity of the Nikon cameras. So since he lives in Switzerland, he wrote in French to Nikon Zurich and he's got the answer. Now the tweet is in French. I can't read French, but on the side it has the translation more or less in English. He sent to me, stars are maximum 160 kilometers away. That's via Nikon. Moon, sun, planets and stars are small and local, no more than 100 kilometers away from the Earth potential of a Nikon camera. They are orbiting around a flat and stationary Earth. This is a really astounding confirmation.
That is an outstanding claim, Eddie. I mean to say, this is obviously made up and you're measuring the focal length in terms of how far the camera can see, and that's not how you do it. Do you think the photons get tired and just can't make it that last 200 kilometres unless there's a P1000 at the other end? Huh. But did you think to check the translation, Eddie? Did you think to do that? You know, there are some really dodgy French translations out there.
The troon carrying the sausage has been bummed by the RAF.
Bummed by the RAF?
Oh, well, little pissers all over the track.
Now, good mate Ruhif, when he saw this, he did as any thinking person would do, and he asked the question, is this an accurate translation?
Now, the tweet is in French. I can't read French, but on the side it has the translation more or less in English.
Well, not even in the slightest. It seems when flatties do not get the response they want, they simply make up a response and pretend that was said in the first place. Now, did Eddie check? Was Eddie lazy or is Eddie a liar?
Now, I may not be a smart man.
I mean to say, all he needed to do was to ask someone who is a language teacher how to translate. Now, I'm sure, Eddie, you could find a good language teacher somewhere if you looked hard enough.
Now, I may not be a smart man. We all knew that. And if we can zoom in on a star, any of them, with such precision like many of us have done, I myself have zoomed on a star here in Japan. And if we are able to do it, it's because they are not millions of miles away. You see here the star, Arcturus, and it's focused, but we cropped the image so you could see better. Comparing to NASA CGI, Arcturus, which is hundreds of times bigger than the Sun, which is product of imagination.
Then, Eddie, find a professional photographer, someone who can do weddings, as they know the importance of focus, because this Arcturus with the P900 shot today, notice how even when zoomed, it's still a point of light. Proper zoom is easy, isn't it, Eddie?
Now, I may not be a smart man.
Then we have Eddie, white knighting for DIRTH. And wow, seems Professor Dave really stirred up the nest of flatties by showing just how little DIRTH actually knows and how much he makes up.
So it actually gets a lot worse than that in the Southern Hemisphere because you've taken a globe and you've unwrapped it. The Southern Hemisphere makes absolutely no sense. People in the Southern Hemisphere who are all looking at the Southern Cross are somehow supposed to be, we're believing that they're all looking in completely different directions and seeing the same object often at the same time.
Eddie is particularly annoyed at Professor Dave for daring to suggest that the Southern Cross can be seen from 3 southern continents at the same time.
So in your world, we have people standing upside down, and you're assuming hemispheres on a sphere.
What do you mean upside down? What do you mean
Well,
upside down? What does that mean?
Compare their feet are antipodal to my feet. People in the South.
Okay, so yours are upside down compared to them. What's the difference? What's down on a globe?
I'm not saying. I'm just saying people are upside down to each other halfway across the world.
Now, this needs to be within a few days of the solstice in June and with darkness in Australia, Africa and South America. Listen to the nonsense that Eddie gives.
All right, at this point, a person is staying in Salvador, Brazil, anywhere in Africa, and Perth, Australia, they can all see the Southern Cross. Now, why do these people can't see the Southern Cross? Well, that region in Brazil, where Salvador is located, is the easternmost region in South America, which means closest to Africa. And the Southern Cross is above Africa. Someone in Salvador looking southeast, he or she will be able to see the Southern Cross. Now, it's very important that the person standing in that region looks southeast. You cannot look south like he was demonstrating. Lack of research, just laziness, or just, I don't know, he tried to deceive his viewers. Now, let's move to next one, which is Perth. Why can you see the Southern Cross from Perth at that time of the year? Well, very simple. Perth is located in the westernmost region in Australia, which is closest to the African continent. That's why these three people in these three different locations will be able to see the Southern Cross. The Southern Cross right above Africa, three people staying in these three different parts of the flat earth can see the Southern Cross. The person in Salvador has to look southeast. The person in Perth, Australia has to look towards the southwest, and that's how this person will be able to see. Let's convert this day and night world map into a flat earth projection. I'm going to show you here what to do. I saved the image. Just take it to Photoshop. You can easily convert that into a flat earth map. There you have it. Three people standing in these three different regions can see the Southern Cross at the same time.
Good mate Ruhaf has all the details. Seems that by just looking at stellarium, it is enough to show that the angles are all basically south when looking at the Southern Cross. Now, Eddie had to make Perth and Salvador guys almost turn right around and face the wrong direction. Almost backwards. Do you not see what a glaring error this is, Eddie?
Now, I may not be a smart man.
Of course you do. You tried to say that Professor Dave was in error for placing the stickman in Sydney and not Perth.
He has the person looking like standing on Patagonia region in Argentina, totally wrong. And he has the other person standing close to Sydney, totally wrong. Did he do it on purpose or plain ignorance and lack of research? He made it impossible to understand because he purposely used people looking at wrong directions. He didn't even include night and day.
Which was rather a minor error compared to what you just did.
And the Southern Cross is above Africa. Someone in Salvador looking southeast, he or she will be able to see the Southern Cross. Now, it's very important that the person standing in that region looks southeast. You cannot look south like he was demonstrating.
Can't look south when in Salvador? Are you sure about that, Eddie? Hey, Eddie, you don't have the crux far enough south. It should be at least over the South Pole, yes? Why? Well, from the South Pole, you can see the crux all night. Literally, all night. 24 hours. You know, no day at all. And if we were standing at the South Pole looking up, we would be able to identify where Sal in Salvador and John in Johannesburg and Dazza in Perth would be in relation to us. Finally, the elephant in the room that Eddie totally missed is field rotation. Now if you look at the stellarium images, you'll see that the crux is at a different angle to the horizon when viewed from the 3 different locations. Furthermore, the amount of field rotation is proportional to how far around the globe you are going. The crux will be 180 degrees rotated if you go halfway around the Earth. Now, fancy that. Eddie didn't think of that. Maybe David will give him 3 Bitcoin for it, if you ask nicely. The link to these 2 masterpieces of Flat Earth video are in the description as always. Pop over and be amazed at how few people are holding Eddie's feet to the fire on this nonsense. It's almost as if it's some sort of echo chamber. Thanks guys, enjoy the derp.